Hey, we are back here. Oh, sorry. I'm like everywhere all at once. Yeah, so basically back on. I started a live earlier and then realized that my lecture wasn't actually on today. So yeah, my head's been all over the place. So I decided to freshen up a little and perhaps look a little bit more professional for right here. So okay, for those guys who have come via my web page, so this is predominantly what this video is going to be for. If you would like to check that out, it is www.thetrawmanetworkingsite.com.au. Feel free to give that a check out. And I know that I had already started a video earlier on today, so just to prevent any sort of confusion, this video is going to be used, for my web page, basically like a snippet of that, so that these guys can be directed to my YouTube channel. So if you have found your way here from doing that, hi, my name is Kayla S. That is who you have been seeing, all that writing on that web page. That would be moi. Fantastic that you have found yourself here. Obviously, you know, as one of the things that I always tend to do is say to you that, you know, if you're here, it's either because you're interested in trauma, because you yourself have trauma, or because you have a loved one who has been suffering from and does suffer from trauma. So whichever brings you here, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining. To start off, look, I still do have trauma. Okay, all right. I think that it's a fallacy when we say to people, you know, you get closure from really, really bad things, or, you know, like it goes away. No, there is no such thing as closure, and there is no such thing as something going away. But there is such a thing as becoming better at dealing with it. There is such a thing as learning techniques that are going to help you or a loved one understand what trauma is and how trauma becomes a part of us, how it manifests. And then obviously there are ways to understand that trauma will absolutely start to calm. It's like an inflammation, okay? So I tend to often use an example. I use some pretty familiar examples that you will see in the beginning here of my videos. And that is like of being in an accident and breaking a bone. For the purpose of this video, let's go with the arm. Okay, so you break your arm in you know, right over here in a place somewhere over there, wherever you want to pick. Perhaps you've been in an accident before and you've broken something. Okay, I know all of us probably have fallen at one time or another. I've broken my foot twice, and torn ligaments and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm like the happy foot lady. But I used that in my last example, so let's just go with this one. You know, and so you break your arm, and there is a process that you need to go through when you have a car accident, when you break something, okay? So you'll go to a hospital, you'll get checked out, you will go for scans, you will have medical experts. You've broken something. After those scans, they're going to discuss with you what can be done to best treat that thing, pardon me, you know, to help you with that. So that's going to be discussed. And then they're basically going to put a cast over it, and you're going to need to go for, you know, rehabilitation and all of those things, and recovery. Okay, and then obviously, like depending on how bad the break is as well, is depending on what is going to happen in that surgery. Maybe you're going to have pins put in or, whatever. But that's basically the thing that's happening here. And I hope that I'm still sticking with the arm. If I divert to a foot or a leg, do excuse me. So that's the sort of stuff that is going to happen. Okay, so it's the same thing when it comes to trauma of a psychological state. Is it is very, very important that that trauma is recognized, by either someone who is an expert, but either way, there is definitely a recognition that needs to be given to trauma. I cannot express to you more how not actually giving someone recognition of their trauma, how damaging that actually is. Okay, so going into like ignorance, like, or whatever type of thing, it's kind of like being a sexually abused victim and turning to a parent and saying, someone has touched me, and the parent to say to that child, get over it, nothing like that has ever happened to you. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that as children, there is definitely a stage that children can go through where there is some attention seeking, and they're finding, it's very natural, and every child will go through these stages where they're basically standing and they're trying to assert, um, like, if I say this, are you going to know, mommy? Or if I say that, are you going to, okay, that's one thing. But I will say to you right now that it is very, very important to recognize when someone close to you is reaching out for help, number one. Secondly, it is very, very, very important as well to investigate whatever that help may be and whatever that they may be saying. Okay, these things count a lot. Otherwise, they can really manifest later on in adulthood. So, look, guys, this is what this is all about, is understanding that trauma is very, very real, and trauma is a part of us, and trauma as well, like any other wound, needs to have some stuff happen, okay? It needs some sort of attention. Otherwise, it just becomes this roller coaster of damaging effects. So today, excuse me while I just take a sip of my cup of tea. All right, so I'm very, very passionate about trauma. I am a trauma speaker and a trauma coach. I'm also learning about the different types of trauma and psychology around us. And I'm not really going to get too much into that because I know that as soon as people hear the word psychology, they tend to shut off. Okay. I am not a mind reader. All right. I am not here to, make you feel like you are under some sort of torchlight. I have suffered from trauma myself. I've been diagnosed with acute PTSD and depression, and I have certainly been given a whole lot of other diagnoses throughout my life. Happy to say that a lot of those probably were not probably quite accurate. But this is what happens within our health system, because unfortunately we are not able to give that one-on-one approach for a very elongated amount of time to people who are going through really, really bad things. Okay. And so this is another reason why this channel is here, why this show is here, is because I think it's very important that you guys see that, yes, trauma it's okay to have something that you feel is wrong with you. It's not okay for that thing to be ignored, and it's not okay for you to sit and wallow in that thing while you're waiting, pardon me, for someone to come and rescue you. The other thing that's very important to realize with trauma is that you get to take the first step and you get to understand that you need, okay, you need to allow yourself to help yourself. Please realize you need to allow yourself to help yourself. One of the biggest issues that we have with trauma is that we need to find some sort of validation, often from the people who have caused the trauma, okay? You know, whether it be a sorry, whether it be a warm, you know, like recognition of some kind. I hate to say this to you, but more often than not, you're actually not going to get that validation. Okay. And even when you do get that validation, yes, it's a step in a direction that is going to give you some sort of allowance to heal, but it is not going to heal you. It is not going to heal you. Trauma is something that can strip you of a lot of things. Love, hope. You know, for me, it used to haunt me in my sleep. I would literally have panic attacks in my sleep. So amongst being passionate about trauma, I know pain, I know trauma. Okay, I encourage you to look at a video before this one, where I share a little bit of the places that I have been. As yet, I have not really shared my story. You know, that is something that I definitely will share sometime soon. Okay, but look, this place here is a safe place for you to understand that trauma is something that has happened to you and it's manifested into a way of helping you to cope. That is what trauma is. Okay, trauma is just basically like an inflammation of a wound. So it's kind of like not going and getting that arm checked out with that broken bone, okay, and having a bit like now having it all swelled up because now it's inflamed and there's a lot of bruising and it changes color and it's extremely sore. So that is what trauma is. Trauma is an inflammation of a psychological hurt, okay, that has happened to you. So this is a place over here where you can come and find some stuff out. All right, so I'm going to be combining a little bit of psychology, a little bit of science. Also, there is a talk show that I will be doing every Sunday, which will be via Facebook, though, so not via YouTube, via Facebook. So you should certainly check that out. And if you would like to check that out, all that you need to do is just head to my website and you will see my Facebook page. So that is www.betraumanetworkingsite.com.au. And you will be able to, yes, get in touch with me, sign up to get the emails that come. All right. It's just really, really fantastic way to, you know, keep in touch. And then obviously, if you are interested in some one-on-one time, then just give me a holler over Facebook and we can arrange that. But yes, so look, guys, I think the important thing to know is that you are here. You are still here and you're not a victim. You are a survivor. Okay, and you are so able. So able. You just have to be willing. That's all. You are able. You just have to be willing to accept the help that is there. And I would like to be part of that help for you. Okay, I'd love to be a part of that help for you. So please feel free to check out the website. Feel free to engage. And let's get this all happening for you. Okay, you can heal. You can heal. Let me tell you something. Just, you know, I've already probably just stopped crying. Okay, all right. Crying is amazing, guys. But what I want us to do is to be really expressing ourselves in healthy ways. Healthy ways. Because our hurt is making other people rich because we're abusing alcohol and drugs and cigarettes to numb our pain. And we're making them rich without pain. Does that sound good to you? Does that sound right to you? Huh? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. So this is where it starts. Okay. This is where it starts. So thank you for being here. And for the guys that have found me via my webpage, let's connect. Okay. So let me know, give me a holler where you are, what you're needing. And yeah, we can definitely start something up for you. I tend to personalize my programs for every person that comes to me. And it's a very, very easy process. So let me know, 45-minute phone call, that's all that we need to get ourselves started, okay? Great, I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that you're here. So if you're ready, you know, you don't get to choose what happens to you, but you do get to choose how you handle it and where the hell you go from there. Yeah, you get to choose that. And the stronger you are, the more hurt you are going to experience, okay? Because you're strong. It's how it is. It's how it is. So get out, guys. Please have some fresh air today. Get outside, have some fresh air, sit in the sun. It's pretty cold. I myself have to go to work a little bit later. Has not been the best time for me. Past 48 hours. So I had to take a little bit of a mind break and just a bit of rest today. So, and that's the other thing, you know yourself well enough as to when you need to make the call. When you need to make the call, okay? I call I'm not good today. I call I'm not healthy today. I call on me to keep showing up. I call on me not to give up. I call on me to go and exercise. I call on me. Guys, please call on yourselves. I call on you today to go outside, get some fresh air. If you can, go for a walk. Go for a walk. Call that friend that you love, or that friend that you have not spoken to for a fair while. You know, I put a post up just the other day, and the reach out that I got reminded me of some of the people that I hadn't really thought of too much, that I adore and adore me back. And it reinstated to me that, you know, it's cool. There are people that are there. There are people that are there amongst, you know, my good mates that are close to me over here. So please, okay. It all starts with you. It all starts with you and it all ends with you. No one gets to take your power, okay? You get to give your power, but no one gets to take your power unless you allow them to. I'm so glad that you're here. See you soon.